gonna start the two, but we're gonna get started. Welcome in to another episode of We Are What's Left Wednesdays, and today tonight we'll be joined by a voice that doesn't just speak history. She revives it, reclaims it, and returns it back to the people it belongs to. She is a proud Mexican and indigenous creator who has built a platform rooted in knowledge, resistance, and liberation, bringing history to life through the live book readings that challenge colonial narratives and center indigenous truth. But she doesn't just stop at education, y'all, okay? She's also a humanitarian activist, using her voice to advocate for indigenous sovereignty, Black and Brown unity, and the political awakening of our communities. In a time where conversation about immigration, identity, and power are being distorted and weaponized, she is here to bring clarity, context, and conviction. So please, everybody, give a warm welcome to a truth teller, a community educator, and a force for the indigenous liberation, Gina!
And the crowd goes wild. Then just came.
Oh, because I got it. Everybody, y'all make sure y'all throw Gina mad freaking gifts tonight, you guys. We want to make sure she at least gets to 5K. Come on now. Make her feel at home. Make her feel very much welcomed. I'm excited about the conversation that we are going to have tonight. Saji, I was thinking when you're going to have yours too. I just saw her comments like, but yes, you look amazing. Love can you tell the people about the uniform that you have on?
Yes, so for those that are not familiar, I've been a brown beret for the last 6 years. Not only am I just a brown beret, but I've also been the chairwoman for the Southeast Tejas Brown Berets outside of Houston.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I clicked on her.
I fucking love it.
Andrea, thank you. Oh my god. Okay. We got one more. Come on, let's rock it out here. Where are you leaving, Jen? Where are you leaving? First gift is triple. Yo soy una perra en calor. Thank you, M, for the galaxy. Anna, thank you for the gift that I can't see. Oh, okay. I don't want to come with. Mel, thank you for the handy. Angel, thank you for the Go Pops. Thank you. You just accidentally ended up doing that? Ended up doing what? Okay, guys, thank you for the handies.
Gonna go recharge. I've gone crazy.
You're good, Anna. Thank you so much. Don't worry, Anna. Thank you for all those handies. You guys are...
Simple form, but it came out of the Chicano movement in the 1960s. It was actually formed by high schoolers that were being told that they couldn't speak Spanish in school. Their education wasn't that of predominantly white neighborhoods or schools. They were just tired. They were tired of the BS in schools and just around them in their communities. And they formed together and they started a group, and it grew into what we now know as the Brown Berets.
Oh, hey, welcome in, everybody. Thank you guys so much for being here again. Continue to show Gina some love. It's We Are What's Left Wednesday, which I'm honored to have her as a creator in this directory of creators so we can amplify one another. Everybody's fighting for something different, but we all believe in pretty much our core values. Come on, it's Liddy over there. Okay, so first of all, can you tell us just a little quick background and just kind of how you started to get into politics, period?
I started to get into politics around the time that I became a brown beret.
Mm-hmm. I'm so sorry. Let me run it back. What made you become a brown beret then?
Oh, that's a good question.
Come on now.
That's something I asked my recruits during orientation. So now you're putting me under the okay. So honestly, so my grandma, just being raised, I honestly say it's in my blood. On like when I give my my little spiel to my recruits, I always say it's in my blood, really. Just from being little, I always had this sense of standing up for what's right and wrong. I just knew that there was injustices in the world. One, two, my grandma was part of the Adelitas from Mexico. People who aren't familiar with Adelitas in Mexico. Yes, shout out to the earrings that little Luna made. They have the emblem of brown braids.
Luna made that. Little Luna made those.
She beaded these for me.
Those are that's amazing.
But yeah, my grandma was an Adelita, and my grandfather was part of one of the original Black Panther parties out in the Bronx in New York.
Really?
Yes. So he just being in the family, we stood up. That was what we did. We stood up. We used our voices. My grandma and my grandpa had an immigration business. My grandmother was not an attorney, the paralegal. I'm sorry. She was a paralegal, and they had an immigration office, and they would help people with their paperwork. That's all it was. So I just always had this sense of standing up for the people. So I knew what the brown berets were from early age. And I remember seeing them in like history books, and like, man, they just look so powerful. They look chingones. And the Black Panthers too, you know, being around my grandpa, I would always see all those things. And I'm like, man, what can I do? And I eventually got in contact with the chapter out in El Paso, where I'm originally from. I don't live there for creeps who are watching that. And I just became a part of it.
Oh my God. And then of course joining the Brown Berets, like of course I'm gonna dive deep into politics. When did you start going live?
I started going live, if we're gonna be completely honest, during we all know C19 had most of us sitting at home. And that's kind of when I started to do TikTok and things like that. I started talking about what's going on in our communities, like probably about a year and a half after I started TikTok. Is when I started going live and talking about, but politics itself here recently within the last, I want to say a year and a half, because I have been boots on the ground a lot. Just speaking out and things like that.
I love that. I love your story. I never knew you were a Brown Beret. Okay. And I didn't know you was Black.
Okay. So technically my grandpa, the one that raised us, is not my mom's biological dad. It's my grandma's, the last three children, but that's still my grandpa. And I think I've shared this with you and other people. My dad is Cuban. He's Afro-Cubano, but I wasn't raised around him or raised around the culture. So being an indigenous woman, I don't want to appropriate a culture that I'm not familiar with.
Oh, I know. Right?
But
I can still call you my sister.
Like exactly, like my Black folks, they're like, no. We can tell. We can tell. I'm like, so yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I brought
and I'm here for all of it. I'm here for all of it, and I love it.
Thank you. Okay, so now, like from your perspective, how do you feel like this current administration is impacting Indigenous and Brown communities in ways people may not be paying attention to?
I don't want to put the marginalization all on this administration, because this has been happening since colonialism set foot here into the United States, right? But specifically this administration, we talked about that in my live earlier, just how they're treating them in these detention facilities. What people don't know and may not know is that a lot of these people that they're detaining, whether they be from Nicaragua, Honduras, Chile, Salvador, a lot of the people there are indigenous people of those countries, of the Americas. And for me, it is a modern day G-side. Whether it's a slow drip G-side is what I like to look at it as. It's still,
I like that.
What it is.
Slow drip G-side.
Yeah, they have us like on a, I'm telling you. And you can see that in the treatment of how they're treating them, whether it's I just learned today about rap and the rap technique, not having adequate medical attention, medical facilities, not having food. Not having food, not
I'm
having a
so
way
sorry.
to-
I don't know why I keep doing that. I blame
No,
that
you're
on
fine. You're fine. But and so it's not just that. I'm not sure if people are familiar or not familiar with MMIW or the MMIW movement. It's the missing, murdered, schmurdered Indigenous women and people. For those who may not know, Indigenous women have the highest rate of unaliving and
Keep tapping, keep tapping, keep tapping, keep tapping, keep tapping. Thank you, DJG. DJG, if we don't get a speed, we'll use your glove, okay? We'll use your glove. I'm cold. I'm nipping. I'm cold. I kind of want to grab my sweater, but I don't want to wear that sweater. I want to grab my other sweater. Thank you, DJ. Thank you, DJ. Thank you. We do the good things. What up, AW? What's up, AW? This is a good song. I don't know the names of these older songs, but like I grew up listening to them. My mom would have them on when we were cleaning. I don't mind the nips. What's up, Alicia? Thank you. Guys, I have really made it a point to like grow my forearms, and like I'm trying to get them to split here, but it's not happening. It's not happening. Shalaya, thank you for the handy. Thank you for the handy. What up, broski? Welcome back, broski. What's up? Thank you, Shalaya. Serio, perro. What a way to call us. Wait, who? Thank you, Lex. Thank you, Lex. That's okay. I didn't say nothing. Okay, thank you. I didn't say nothing, Lex. I didn't say nothing. Full serio. Okay, more songs. I need songs. What do you guys want to hear? You're still at the hospital, broski? Do you know when you're gonna get out with the MAGA mom? I'm sorry, what song? I need songs. You're supposed to be sleeping, but you're giving us handies. I'm not giving handies. Thank you for the heart music, yo. Thank you. This? Friday? Okay. DJ, throw the glove. Guys, we're gonna have a glove. We're gonna have a glove. Get ready. Break it down. Boom. Break it down. Break it down. We got a glove. Lock it in. Handies and up. Thank you, Anna, for the first handy. Thank you, Anna, for the second handy of the night. Thank you. DJ with the money gun. Thank you so much. And Anna, thank you for the extra 2 handies. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you, DJ, for that money gun. It hit. What up, Naquan? Anna, thank you for the handy. Thank you. Let me see your footwork, Joey. Homie, I'm at this is my wall, fool. I can touch my wall. Naquan,
the Trump administration is trying to push for a policy that is allowing underage individuals or children to be detained in ICE facilities longer than 30 days. We all know that they're already doing that, but they're trying to make it to where it's legal. They officially cannot detain a person who is under the age or a minor for more than 30 days. We're getting reports that minors are being detained for up to 100 days without being released to their parents, to family, whatever have you. And for me, that's absolutely, as a humanitarian, as for somebody who fights for human rights, not only civil rights but human rights, for me that's torture. You're torturing these babies. Why do you want them to be detained for so long? What possible use can you have for a child to be detained for that long? And the first thing that comes to my mind, obviously, with everything going on, are the e-files and just how sick these people are that are in charge.
That part. Woo! Some of the stories, there's so many files, and there's so many files that everybody can't comb through every single one. So everybody's going down their own holes. And allegedly in Minecraft, on one of the files, it's so sick that I'm not even gonna say. It's so sick that nothing I can ever even think about. Nothing that I can ever think about. But like you said, that's the only reason that they would need them for so long. Mm-hmm. And then grow them up to have more children and continue to feed whatever nefarious, sadistic bullshit that they have going on. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely nightmare fuel. I've never heard a story or anything all the sick shit that I've heard. And the crazy part is the files that aren't in there is worse than that.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I was saying this on my live earlier. For me and obviously the people that surround us, we understand. But for the people who continue supporting this administration, if it was truly about just detaining and releasing to wherever the country of origin people are from, then they would do that. Wanting to push for a policy that allows for minors to be detained more than 30 days is questionable. Also, why are you trying to have these pop-up facility places that are small towns, rural towns, so that there is not a lot of oversight, whereas in bigger cities, you're going to obviously have more oversight and people who are coming in and out, checking on the conditions of the people there. It's not about that. It's something far more sinister. If this administration and the people who supported it, if it was truly for just detaining and releasing to the countries of origin, then that would be happening. We would be seeing that, but we're not seeing that. We're seeing these unalivings. We're seeing women and children being raped and molested. All these things are happening. It's not for that. It's for a purpose that is something far more sinister than people want to realize. And if they do realize and still support it, you're just blatantly sadistic and you're evil.
I would have to agree. I'm mute because I heard that little or something, and I think it's my thing, and I don't want anything to interrupt this amazing conversation. Okay, I don't know what happened with my YouTube. I think that my cord hit it and it keeps going to the next live. But if it gets too bad, then I'm gonna record I'm gonna download this entire thing and make sure that I don't know if it got the intro, and that intro to this amazing woman, was top tier. So I'm gonna make sure it's on there. I had So immigration is immigration is one of the most politicized issues of this country. And from an indigenous lens, how should we be reframing that conversation?
Oh, that's I fucking love you. That's such a good question. So through an indigenous lens and through a decolonized lens, one would understand and know that these man-made borders are just that. They're man-made. Human nature and humans in general have been migrating these lands across the globe since humans were here. For whatever reason that may be, whether it's weather, whether it's conflicts, whatever it may be. First. Secondly, being very cognitive and aware of the verbiage that these administrations, because I say these because we can see that prior, because this is not the first time that they've rounded us up and done what they're doing to us. We can see the verbiage that starts to be used, and the descriptions that they put out to the media about Indigenous people and brown people. And I want to just make it very clear for people who are like Indigenous people, but they're from like Latino America. You have to understand there's Indigenous people from those places too that have been roaming these lands for generations, for centuries. And a lot of them, you'll see them, they are Indigenous looking. You'll see them phenotypically Indigenous, very darker melanated people from these countries that they're rounding up, because you don't see them rounding up the whitey looking ones. You see them rounding up the brown, very melanated Indigenous people. So that's why I say that. Just being cognitive and careful with the verbiage. Because we were reading something on my live, and the Department of Homeland Security is still calling us aliens. They'll say, like impregnated aliens. And that's super harmful, because that's dehumanizing.
I agree. And I was watching TV the other night, and I was looking at their lips and their face, and I'm like, if anybody look closer to monkeys or aliens, it would definitely be y'all. But now as I grow and I learn that the party of projection, if you put it off on me, then I'm not looking at you. You calling others aliens because maybe you are. Calling black people monkeys because you the one don't have the lips. Y'all look like more like the monkey than we do. We got this. Yeah, so it's just projection. None of it's fucking real. All of it's just them. But anyway, so the Department of Homeland Security is still calling aliens.
Yes, very much so. And that's where I'm saying, like, because sometimes I'll see people, it'll slip out, they'll be like, oh yeah, illegal aliens, and they're like, oh, I'm sorry, immigrants. Even the word like immigrants, I know, and I don't want people to be like, man, they're just, thank you so much.
W Soul, okay, W y'all for showing Gina some love and making her feel here at home. I love it. Drop some crowns in the chat for yourselves. Thank you.
You guys are awesome. Even like the word immigrants, and I don't want people to be like, oh, she's just being sensitive. No, because there is power in words. People don't understand that. There is power in words and in labels. That's why they use the words and the labels that they use in mainstream media. So even when you say like immigrants, these immigrants coming over, I know for the most part, most people are like, it's just immigrants. And it's not. No, it's still harmful because of this administration. The negative connotation that this administration has placed with that word and with the brown community, the Indigenous community, it's still like, it's dehumanizing. So I just say migrants, or I'll say undocumented.
Yeah.
Like if somebody needs something to say to describe what's going on for the community, I would just say undocumented people, migrants, undocumented migrants, things like that. Those are words that are they're more friendly, and they're not dehumanizing.
Yes, thank you for that, because I feel like I've learned a lot already to be on live. And when you talk about, you just read not too long ago, what made you start doing the book readings in your lives?
Okay, so what made me start doing the book readings in my lives was the beef that I was seeing between Black and brown communities, and Black, brown, and Indigenous communities on this app was wild. I was like,
it was getting out of hand. It still be getting out of hand sometimes. Every now and then, everybody like to ruffle some feathers, but it was.
Yes, and for somebody like me who comes from a family of Black, brown, and Indigenous people who don't know any of that, I'm just like, that's weird. I'm like, oh, y'all just don't know our history for real. Let me read you something. Like, maybe y'all just forgot. So I started reading the books, and the first book that we officially read was an African American and Latinx history of the United States, and it did a huge deep dive into Black, brown, and Indigenous history within the United States. and how it's all intertwined.
Mm-hmm.
And just how we've been fighting side by side since colonialism. And that's what got me started. That's what got me started.
Okay.
And seeing everybody else doing book readings, like Saji, who else was it? There was another book reading. It was a smaller crowd. I was just like, okay, I need to try that.
I love that because I know she was reading. I think I have their book in here somewhere.
You have to read it.
Oh, the books that I have right here is White Tears, Brown Scars, and Black People Invented Everything. And I did say that after each live, I'm just gonna maybe somebody pick a number, or I'll just flip through the pages, or I'll just read like one thing that Black people have invented. Maybe they don't know because it's a book full of them. It's not necessarily like a book, but we can just kind of get a little piece of knowledge before the end of the live, each live. Now, I was gonna ask you about like, what people, and if you want to add to this, you can. I feel like you kind of touched on it because I'm gonna ask you like, what do people misunderstand about borders when it comes to Indigenous and Mexican history? And I know you said they're all man-made. If there's something you want to add to that, you can. If not, I'll just go on to the next question too.
Yes, I'll add one more thing. So, specifically when it comes to like the Mexican borders and throughout the Southwest here in the United States, I'm sure that most of us know, or it's common knowledge, that most of the Southwest and the West Coast of the United States was previous to Mexico. And then, the indigenous communities that resided in those areas more so. And to our Mexicanos or Latino people who are listening, please, when you guys are saying, oh, this one was Mexico, understand that even in that aspect, it could be harmful to the indigenous communities, because at that time, this is why I like history and understanding nuances. At that time, Mexico and Spain were fighting, and they were trying to take back their land, the indigenous people. So even in that context, I understand we're all like, oh yes, this was on Mexico, obviously to go up against the administration and just saying that we have been here prior to it being established as the United States. Know that in those spaces, in those lands that you're on, those states that you're on, once was indigenous people that were there, and most of them are still there. Whether they're far removed, they just don't know what tribe they come from, they're still very much so there. But back to my point was, when the United States and Mexico, at the end of their conflict, their 7-year conflict, they signed that treaty, which is the Treaty of Guadalupe. Technically, people who had familial ties to those states are supposed to be allowed to come and go from Mexico to the United States freely. No pasaportes.
Wait, what?
No. Yes, ma'am.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it's called the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo. That was when the United States took those territories from Mexico.
And they were supposed to be able to travel freely. You think
Yes,
that's happening?
Mm-mm. Nope.
That's crazy.
Nope. Yeah. We were supposed to be allowed to obviously keep our lands, whatever properties we owned, and we know that didn't happen when they started the westward expansion and they wanted to get their hands on the gold, which was the gold rush at that time, or so-called what they thought was the gold rush. A lot of the United States Confederate soldiers went over to those states. Mind you, these people, either they only spoke Spanish or they only spoke their indigenous tongue, were forced to sign English documents for fear of being strange fruited. And what they were signing was they were essentially signing their properties away. So after they would sign them, they would come back, soldiers would come back and forcefully remove them from those lands.
That's why when it came to Jasmine Crockett and James Dale Collins, ain't no way in hell I'm gonna trust another white. What are we doing?
Facts.
What the hell? The fuck?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Oh, that's crazy. How do you respond to the narratives that criminalize migrants instead of understanding the root causes?
Well, I always tell people just do your research.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was on, I can't think, I think I was on Skeptic's Live or somebody's live, and somebody had brought that up, and we, like, in real time went and researched the statistics of crime rates when it came to undocumented migrants. And it was like something of like 0.1% or 0.3%, something very small that was committed by migrants. And I was just like, see, just like a simple, quick Google search for a lot of people should suffice for the most part. But what did Trump say? Smart people don't like me.
Yeah, exactly. And I love the poorly educated. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, even when you say like the whole, the uproar about black and brown people yelling at each other, at the end of the day, it's these colonizers that have us even arguing with each other. We only don't like them because of what they told each one of us about the other one. We have to keep our mind, our focus on the big shit. We can worry about all this little shit later. Yes, we have disagreements. I don't like this or that. And it's not because they're black or brown. It's just, you're not going to get along with everybody. It's just a human thing. But stay focused on the big mission. And the big mission is the colonizers. We was doing just fine before they came over here fucking with shit. So, yes, you guys, if you just coming in here, make sure that you give everybody on the panel a follow, especially our amazing guest and We Are What's Left creator, Gina, in the building today for We Are What's Left Wednesday. You guys tap the screen, share the live, share it to your story, repost it, share with a friend. We are almost got her to 5K, so make sure y'all just keep showing her love and making her feel welcome. We have heart hands in our daily gift goal. It's 50, so something that I don't have to keep changing. And thank you again. Thank you all for being here. Welcome in, Krikiana Fee and Ulysses. Thank you guys so much. And everybody, Beer Necessity, I saw you. Cam, welcome in. Cam, check your messages on Discord and TikTok. So, and it was my last question, like, about this particularly, and you don't have to really go into like deep depth if you don't want to, or because I know it can be a lot, but what would a human-centered immigration policy actually like look like to you?
Man, a human-centered immigration policy. I've never been asked that. That is such a good question. I love you, Jen. I love when somebody makes me think. I love that. And here I was, thought I was prepared for it. A human-centered immigration policy. One would be, how about, okay, so let's start off with bringing back due process. Also, let's start off with a term limit as far as when applications are put in for visas or residencies. They're not waiting fucking 10 years. How about affordable? An affordable process. Also, let's do away with DACA. All our babies that were born here and know nothing but being here, they deserve a pathway to citizenship all the way. I know you know a couple of DACAs yourself.
I agree, Jess, and yes, I do.
Joey, Senor Barragan, they're all amazing people, and they wouldn't even know what to do if they were to get deported. Not saying that, they're ashamed of it or anything like that. It's just all they've known is
they don't know that this is their home from the when they can remember.
Facts. Something little Luna said down at the bottom, military service automatically should be straightforward to citizenship.
I agree.
I agree. Crazy. They tell us to go serve our country. They promise us citizenship. And then when we come back from WAR, we get deported.
That's wild. I can fight for you, but I can't live here.
Yeah. Just those ways, like it's a whole reform of immigration policy would be nice. Like, let's just completely gut it, redo it. lines aren't being long. And for those who don't know, just quickly, Jess, I don't mean to take up too much
No,
time.
girl, this is your time. So as long as
oh,
we'll have you, you
okay.
are welcome. Okay, you
Okay,
drag it
good.
out as long as you need to. If you need to stand up and dance and do whatever you want to do, it's all you. Okay.
Thank you. So for those who don't know, the U.S. government just collected over $1 billion in immigration fees and refused to process the applications.
Wait. What? Come again.
That
Say
came
what?
out. That was headline news today.
Say that one
So-
more time for the people in the back.
Yes. So the U.S. government collected over $1 billion in immigration fees, then refused to process the applications. No refunds.
Y'all, they stealing every goddamn thing. Like literally. We're gonna have to do a live about like what can we do to stop this? How can we make somebody like how do we make, because we can't just keep saying wow.
Mhm.
They just gonna
Yeah.
take it and build a detention center instead of doing, like you say, helping people who are doing it the right way. Their words.
I mean, wasn't that their main thing though, Jess? Do it the right way. Do it the right way. Why aren't you here doing it the right way? So then people pay these crazy amounts for applications and the fees and the processes and all of these things. Mind you, people who don't make a lot of money.
Yeah.
That
Thousands of dollars.
Save up years to be able just to put in the application fee for them to say, oh, thanks for your money, but no, thank you.
That's wild. That's crazy. That's heartbreaking. Actually.
So it is crazy. I'm going to do more research and I will make sure that I get back to you on what we can do about this.
Yes. Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, that hurt my soul. Oh.
Yes, $1 billion, y'all. $1 billion.
You know what's really needed? Fees. A J6. Bitch, that's what's really needed. That's what's really all y'all peaceful walking and the protesting. They don't give a fuck about that. Okay, I was thinking if I was him, I wouldn't care how much y'all walk. Y'all walk on the weekends when everybody off work. They don't really care. Y'all not disrupting a goddamn thing. You ain't doing shit. I ain't saying you gotta shit on nobody's desk and wipe feces all over the wall, but something is needed. And they listen so much that the Democrats were scared that they didn't even want to challenge the results of the election in fear of one of those things. Fuck that. You got the army behind you. You know, what are we talking about? And it made a difference. It made them move allegedly in Minecraft, is what we need, is what they said on that third episode. Hey, Amco, how you doing, love? And K Brand, I feel like I haven't seen you in a minute, K Brand. But thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. Okay, so I was looking obviously at your bio. I get to deep dive into Gina, When you say indigenous liberation, what does that truly mean beyond like the buzzword? What does that mean to you and for you, and what does it look like?
Yeah, I love you. Okay, so for me, right away, what I think of indigenous liberation, for me, one is land back. And I'll get into what land back truly means. And the right to self-determination, right? The right to self-governance, the right to self-determination. Those are top what off the bat what I think of. So a lot of people when they hear land back or land back movement, thank you to all the gifts, they think, oh my gosh, these people want their like actual land back. They want, although that would be right. We don't necessarily think of that. It ties into like self-determination and self-liberation. So we want the right. First and foremost, we want our treaties to be upheld. Our treaties are not being upheld. Not one single treaty in the United States of America has been upheld.
That's why I don't get why they trust them, because they break every treaty that they make with everybody, from the homeland to across the land, across the entire globe. They don't keep nothing.
Exactly.
Okay, but anyways.
So if they can one, live up to their treaties, two, give us the land that you told us is rightfully ours. We're not gonna go kicking everybody off, definitely not. But do you guys okay, so picture this, Sicily, 1933. No, it's like, picture this. If there were indigenous, like an indigenous council for the United States of America, or the government just in general, that they went and consulted with and had some say, do you know how that would look for our water rights, our air, everything that indigenous people stand for, which is Mother Earth, which is the earth in general, our environment? We are environmental activists. We are the caretakers of this earth. So that is our water, our air, the air that we breathe, our food, our plants, what's going inside of us. Do you know how different things would look if there was an indigenous council that the government would concede to, or at least check in with something? So for me, that's what it looks like. Also, the right to self-determination, which is the right to leave us the fuck alone.
Yeah.
And we get to say, we get to say what happens in our neighborhoods. Yes, like, leave our neighborhoods alone, leave our policing alone, leave our air, our plants, leave us the fuck alone. Give us our shit. Then when you give us our shit, whatever you're gonna give us, get the fuck off of it. Stay the fuck off of it.
Please.
Let us govern ourselves. We were here prior to you being here, and we'll be here long after you motherfuckers leave. And we'll continue to be. So that's what it looks like for me. That's what indigenous liberation looks like. We need to become the medicine wheel. Solita, this is actually for the Rainbow Coalition, but these are some, besides the brown, this is the color of the medicine wheel. I think I have a medicine wheel somewhere on my thing. But that's what it looks like for me. And I think that if there were Black, brown, and indigenous people running this motherfucker, it would not be what it's at now.
Come on now. We be over here skipping around this bitch, having a great time, okay? Living the life
specifically
that
women.
Okay.
Black, brown, and indigenous women running it. But
yo, like, get specific, because you know how you ask the universe for something, they give it to you, and it didn't go right. Like, I should have been more specific. Yeah.
Yes.
Get specific for sure. What do you feel like are some ways that colonization still shows up today that people don't even realize?
Well, one obvious one, huge one, is this administration and what's going on in the ICE detention facilities. What we're seeing, and I'm going to continuously speak on it, what we're seeing in marginalized communities and on the reserve. So it's the lack of, thank you, hey Bougie, the lack of funding for resources, the lack of funding for schools, for education, the voter suppression in our communities. A lot of people think, or it's a misnomer, that Indigenous people just willfully don't vote on the reserve, but that's not true. Anybody who's ever been on a reservation, one, there's a huge lack of transportation on the reservation. There's even a lack of having an address. So having to require an address to vote, knowing that on the reserve, sometimes there's not even addresses, not even street names. Like, I encourage, if you have the ability to go onto a reservation or know somebody who is Indigenous, that you can go in and just see how the dynamic, sorry, that was my phone. Just see how the dynamic is out there. You would understand voter suppression is real. So to be able to have people come out to vote at a higher rate on the reserve is a little crazy, because a lot of people, one, don't have transportation, two, don't have an address. So it's a lot of nuances. Yep.
If you could like provide like a movie documentary or something that kind of like close to representing either the history or how it is like even now today on indigenous land, do you have any recommendations? And if not,
I do.
a
I
book would
do. So
suffice. Okay.
there's not any that I can think of off the top of my head that are like currently besides like shows. So if anybody has ever seen Yellowstone, not the show Yellowstone itself, but there's two shows that show how Yellowstone became to be Yellowstone. And one of them is 1883. And that's how, like I said, Yellowstone became to be Yellowstone. But in that show specifically shows what colonization did to the indigenous people in that area and how it looked into place. Like, trigger warning, they don't hold back. So they don't hold back when it comes to the boarding schools. They don't hold back when it came to the abuse in the boarding schools. They show what really happened. So like if you're talking about one like right now, those are the ones that I can think of. Dreamwalker is one, like Little Luna said. But some good movies to watch if, like on a weekend or something. Bury My Heart at Wounded Knee. If you guys have not heard about that.
Somebody write these down and send them to me, y'all.
Yes, if somebody can put them in the comments, please, and send them to Jess too. Bury My Heart at Wounded Knee is talking about the Lakota tribe, the Lakota, Nakota, and Dakota tribe. For those who don't know, 28 indigenous men were strange fruited by Abraham Lincoln. And the next day, that's when he signed the Emancipation Proclamation so that people could immediately forget what he had just did a day prior.
What? I knew there were also two other reasons why he ended up signing it, but I didn't know that.
Yeah. So Bury My Heart at Wounded Knee, Salt of the Earth is a really good one. And then I know it's very cliche, and I'll give him some of the flowers. What's that one that Apocalypto is pretty okay. I don't want to give him too much flowers because it's fucking Mel Gibson, and I hate that it had to be a white person to do it.
Of course, I hate it. If I watch a good movie, I hate to give white folks a compliment, but
and I don't. It's not like it's completely accurate. The movie kind of gives like what happened as far as like South, so Latino America, what was going on and how colonization looked at that time. And then it stopped. If anybody has seen Apocalypto, it stopped when they noticed that there was Spaniard ships coming ashore. That's when the movie stops. But Apocalypto is all right. But for sure, Salt of the Earth and Bury My Heart at Wounded Knee are really good.
And even to the previous question, somebody said that it was actually, I think they said it was somebody black or something, telling people you should just answer the ICE agents' questions. You should just listen. You should just this. And it's another form of colonization when they tell black people you should just comply. You should have just didn't say anything. And I'm like, they're just doing it with different people and different words, same color. White folks against black and brown people. And I think it's important for us to see the parallels because it's all going to lead down to the same destination. So don't do the same thing that was done to us to others. Don't fall into that narrative and make sure you guys are just paying attention and fighting. Dreamkeeper too. Yeah, everybody send me all the movies. I love a good movie and a good story.
I need to watch that one. I've never seen that one.
Which one? Dreamkeeper?
Yeah.
Yeah. One. And then songs my brother told me. Okay. I think Soul said. So yeah, y'all, if y'all know any too, please put them in there. Hey Khalida, how you doing, love? Definitely put them in there. Oh, excuse me. Okay, so you also use book reading as a form of activism, which is powerful as well. I think you could probably answer this, but why was that important for you to do?
Yeah, so obviously for, like I said, the weird beef that was going on between our communities on this app, but also too, people don't understand that reading is a form in and of itself of revolution and just going against the system and and against not COINTELPRO, what the fuck, against what's going on. And I was gonna say they used that in COINTELPRO, but they didn't want us to read. For a long time, Black, Brown, and Indigenous people, like, it was illegal for us to have possess a book.
Yep.
It was illegal
to even know how to
read.
read.
So the fact that we can come together and get educated with each other for me is a form of revolution. It's a form of going against the grain, and speaking out. And just our very existence in this country is political. I need people to understand that, like, if you don't believe in politics, or you're like, I don't do politics, it's not for us, it's very colonized mentality. What the fuck? Like we understand, we know the system wasn't for us. We know that. But anyways, there's so much in history has taken place when it comes to Black, Brown, and Indigenous people fighting for basic human rights that we cannot not be political. Our very identity is political in this country. So that's my take.
If you don't do politics, don't worry about it. Politics will definitely do you. So you need to be the one doing the bending. Sorry, y'all. Fuck my whole throat up. What's one piece of history that you've learned over just like reading these books and doing being boots on the ground and being a brown beret, like a piece of history that completely changed how you see the world?
Damn, that's a good. Damn, this is making me think tonight. Gina, precious knowledge. Oh, is that a book, Mama? I don't know if that's a book, Little Luna. Damn, God, there's so much. There's a whole freaking list. Okay, a piece of history. I think what absolutely blew my mind is when we were reading an African American and Latinx history of the United States. It's two of them. One movie. Oh yes, that's a good movie. Okay. I know which one you're talking about. He was a freedman in the 1800s or early 1900s. And he had been fighting with, I don't remember who it was, but not in a bad way. He had wrote the United States government. It was during the Mexican-American Revolution. He wrote the United States government asking for reparations for Mexican indigenous people. And basically telling the American government, you fucked them over. You know what you did was wrong. And they deserve reparations. One. Two, along in that same story, because they were talking about two men who were friends and how they were, doing stuff with each other's government for each other. And then on the Mexican side, or his friend's side, he had wrote the Mexican government, telling them the United States wants, Black people don't do what they want. The United States was basically asking Mexico, we want back our slaves. We want back all the Black people who had left. We want them back. Give them to them now. Give them. And he's like, no, fuck you. We're not doing that.
What's his name again?
I gotta get. It's in the book.
Okay, no worries. Okay, keep going. My bad.
I have it highlighted and underlined. I can't think of it right now at the top of my head.
I love a highlighted book. I'm sorry.
My mind was blown because I'm like, bro, we've been fighting for each other and with each other for fucking ever. Like, for fucking ever. That was one piece. And another piece, I was reading American Indian History of the United States, which is a really good book too. Was that prior to the transatlantic slaves trade, the Spaniards were doing the same thing, basically, essentially, to indigenous people, but they were. So while we have our Black relatives who were being brought in, indigenous people were being shipped out at that same time. So those realities were parallel with each other. And that's something that's not something that's often talked about or taught. And I didn't know that. And it was a lot, because it was from Canada all the way down to Chile. there was a whole trading, like a whole route that they were enslaving them and boarding them on and shipping them out to different European countries. So two realities were existing, and I was like, whoa.
That's crazy. See, I learned too. Okay, because Gina got the knowledge over here. I'm not mad at it. Why do you think unlearning is just as important as learning?
Oh, I think that's almost, if not a little more important. So we like to call it, and I know, Jess, you're familiar with the term decolonizing or deconstructing, because I like to say decolonizing because colonization did its big one on Black, Brown, and Indigenous communities. So much so that we've assimilated to the way that they talk, the way that they walk, the way that they think. We've assimilated into the good old American fashion mindset. You got to be a good old American. You got to love apple pie, which there's nothing wrong with apple pie, but you know what I mean? Like all these things, and you're just like, huh? So unlearning a lot of what was instilled and kind of drilled into you without you even knowing it is so important, because it affects everything. It affects the way that you think, the way that you talk, hell, even the way that you dress and what you listen to, all types of stuff.
Because no telling what they were wearing beforehand, but like, even, I know this is a little bit different, but same thing, like women's clothes. Most of women's clothes are designed by men, how they want us to look, and mostly white men, how they want the women to look in these certain clothes, what type of clothes they want you to buy, how they propagandize it to like, oh, this is how it looks if you want to be Betty fucking Crocker, bitch, and your white picket fence and your home and your this, like everybody talks about, I want my house and my white picket fence, and they have been giving us like what we should aspire to, except for and ignore what we want to be. So we only get one life, and imagine just living it to aspire to what they tell you should be, opposed to what you want to be and who you could be. And that could be limitless. And it could go way further than a little fucking house, some kids, and a fucking picket fence.
Facts. And even like the patriarchy, right? Misogyny and patriarchy came with colonization.
Yeah.
Most of our societies, women were, if not running things, were at least, like, not at least, but included in the decisions as far as the communities.
Yeah.
You had matriarch societies, you had matriarchs. If a tribe didn't have matriarch societies or weren't ran matrilineal, they were still revered. So when a woman hit a certain age, they were considered elders. They were considered smart. You went to these women for decisions to be made. And in some indigenous communities, women were the ones who made the decisions whether they wanted to go have conflicts with other tribes or other nations. Why? Because women, we're more emotional, so we can think clearly in a different way, while as men, they're just ready to suit and boot and
and fight and just like think logically. And even so, even though we're in the patriarchy, people don't realize how much women do even run it, whether you say it or not. Like when you ask your dad for something, he say, go ask your mom. Can we do this? Got to go ask your mom. You respect your elders, tu abuela, and like they run the shit. Just because you don't say it doesn't mean it. They're doing it. You just say, I'm the man and I'm the leader. Hey! And so I know
that's facts. And you even you even see that in BIPOC communities, right? Like you're saying, Jess. I was raised around Black and brown families. Everybody went to auntie. Everybody went to abuelita. Everybody went to their tias. Like the women were really like, and for the down ass men, for the righteous men, look, if it don't fit, if it don't apply, let it fly. But for the most part, women have been running things and that's in the household. My grandma used to have a saying. She used to say, they call men, they had the head of the household, but somos el cuello, means we're the neck. We control the head.
Yeah, exactly,
So
exactly.
Let them believe.
It's like puppeteering.
Yes. So yeah.
No, that's why they say behind every good man is a great woman, and behind every great woman is other great women. And that's also too why the president cannot be single. Like you can, I think that is also to a qualification of being president. You have to be married. They can't have you whisking off. You got to be able to prove that you can hold down a household, or at least we know there's a woman that's gonna try to hold your head on a swivel sometimes, or have your back, or kind of guide you into the right place. Now we have a corn star, but that's a whole different story. Allegedly in Minecraft. And for those people who are like trying to wake up politically, what books or authors would you like encourage them to start with?
For sure. I would encourage them. I'm gonna unalive on my hill for this book. And it's the one I've been talking about all night, is An African American and Latinx History of the United States. The cast, I think Saji read it on hers. I don't know if she completed the book or not, but
yeah, I think she's reading that too now, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think so. But for sure, An African American and Latinx History. The reason why I say that is because it intertwines Black, Brown, and Indigenous communities, the history, and it touches on it, and it takes it from colonial, like when colonizers came and the inception of colonialism, and it ends off on Barack Obama and just kind of like that administration and how the climate looked in the United States around that time. I think that is a really good place to start.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you want to understand history, you want to understand context, that is a really good book. Really, really good book.
Y'all heard that? Y'all heard it? Write it. If somebody could put it in the chat for us again, that's going to be my next book to get. Again, if you guys are just now tuning in, make sure you give everybody on the panel a follow, especially our amazing... Oh, my camera is flipped. So I think I'm doing... Anyways, there we go. Our amazing guest feature today, we are What's Love creator, Gina. Definitely love her. She's out there doing the work and boots on the ground, real boots. All right. Real fucking boots. She looks amazing in her uniform. I'm glad that you showed up in your uniform. I think it's just powerful just to see you. I feel like I'm watching you in action. She's almost at 5K, so you guys make sure you continue to show us some love. Full grade here in the Royal Palace, also to a Royal family member. You guys feel amazing here in the Royal Palace. I know you guys are learning a lot of new knowledge because I know that I am. So welcome in, everybody. Get your daily heart meet and continue to show our guests some love. And I think we got like maybe a few more heart hands, you guys, in the gift code. Just a few. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you. Share the live to your story, share it with a friend, and repost it as well. Tonight we're talking about immigration, how to get brown and indigenous people more politically active, including this current administration. If you guys missed any of the playback, it's on the tube. We're also live on the tube. If you have a second device, y'all know where I already know what to do. But yes. So we're almost there. She need like 250 to get to 5K, you guys. So I know y'all gonna handle that. I of Messi said, I see my mom, I see me, my mom, my tias, my primas, and my homegirls in her. Oh my. Why that made me want to cry? I'm about to start my period.
Metzley always making me emotional. Thank you, Salita. Thank you to the gifters.
Yes,
Thank
W y'all. W all of the amazing gifters, all the royal family, the whole chat. Y'all are definitely doing y'all big one. And I love y'all so much. That's why you're not fucking with us. Okay, anyways, so I start family tripping in here.
I put it in the comments, Mama. If you don't mind I'm gonna just do a quick shameless 2-second plug. The
Please,
TIPM is my account.
plug whatever the hell you need. It's all about you. You plug whatever you need to plug.
Thank
Okay.
you. So if you guys haven't tapped into TIPM, I just put the name of the book, An African American and Latinx History of the U.S., in the comment section. TIPM is the Indigenous Peoples Movements. That's what the acronym is for. It's uniting all Indigenous people from the top of Turtle Island, which is Canada, all the way to the tip of Turtle Island, the tip of the tail, which is Chile, and all marginalized communities. So if you haven't tapped into TIPM, just tap in. We have a Discord. We just share resources. It's a little community. Everybody is welcome.
I know. I was just about to ask. Okay.
Let me shut up. But just know that if you are from that community, you will be very heavily it's already
Informed.
vetted. Yes, informed and vetted. But honestly, it's amazing, and thank you, Jess, for letting me talk about it.
Of course. You talk about what you plug, whatever you need to plug, okay? Everything. And you guys can also catch her on if you want to. Maybe I can help you with your link tree. If you have other things you want to add, other links you want to add. But wearewhatsleft.org. Y'all know where it is. Okay.
I'm gonna get a link tree going specifically because Jess, like, she put me next to women who, one, are doing better than me, and two, can help me grow, because Jess is that woman, and a lot of women in my circle. You guys encourage me and empower me and push me to grow. So I'm gonna get a link tree for myself. That way all the links will be there for you guys and it'll be easier. But another quick shameless plug, if you are in the Houston area or Texas or just in general, and if you have a desire to want to help with the Brown Berets or be a Brown Beret, hit me up, let me know. I can also plug that in for you. Just letting you guys know.
Yeah, come on now. This is your outlet. Sometimes somebody in this chat, whether you're here, you're a ghostie, or you watch it from the outside of the club, this may be your calling. This may be your calling. Hey, Darren, I haven't seen you in a while. W Soul, okay. Kimmy Song, Saji, and K Brand. I'm seeing y'all in the top 3 already. So shout out to y'all. Shout out to all of the gifters showing love. I don't care if it was 1 rose, 1 chair, all the way up to $100,000. Okay. We manifest around here. And we're talking about like political activation. A lot of people feel disconnected or even disillusioned with politics. Why is it still important for Brown and Indigenous communities to like engage politically?
Because if you don't, Karen and Kyle are going to go to the polls and make sure that they're voting for these right-wing Republican nationalists. That's why.
Facts.
Because if you don't do it, and if you don't stand up, and if you don't use your voice for good and for your community, believe me, the people you don't want making choices like we are right now, they're going to be voted into office, and they're going to be the ones making decisions for our communities that they have nothing in common with.
Mm-hmm. And then trying to erase us, our history, our lives, our land, our love, all of the fucking above. Okay. And also too, like, what does political power actually look like for our communities beyond just voting to you?
Political power for us would mean, for me, would play into the right to self-determination. If we have people in places that we choose to put there, and people that are for us, for our communities, it could slowly lead to policies being implemented, laws being implemented, things where we can have some of that self-determination and self-liberation for our communities. So
yeah,
it's important.
And how can, well, I think you just answered this question. How can people go from being aware to being active?
Ooh, just hit me up. Hit Jess up. We will point you in all the directions you need to go, okay?
Be like, I'm glad you asked, okay? And
yes.
then even the follow-up was like, for people who feel overwhelmed, what would you say step one is?
So like overwhelmed with everything going on right now. Okay, so that is a really important question. If you're feeling overwhelmed, some of the things that I like to do, one is it's super easy. There's this button depending on the side of your phone that you just got to click. Click that button. Disconnect from your phone for a little bit. Disconnect from what's going on, because if you're not okay mentally and spiritually, nobody around you is going to be okay. And for those of us that do use our voice, those of us that have a platform, and those of us who are just sharing resources in whatever way that's possible, we need you. We need you. So one, disconnect. Two, I'm not a religious person. I'm a spiritual person. So if you pray or if you meditate, or for any indigenous people that might be in here, please start going back to your sweats. Go back to Inipi. Make sure you're staying up to par with your spiritual well-being too. However that may look like for you guys, make sure you guys are keeping that up. That's
True. So I guess this, I don't know why I say spacey, but do you think that is there danger in waiting for politicians to save us instead of building our own power?
Yeah, they're not gonna do it. They would have done it a long time ago.
The fuck?
We have to do it. We historically have to be the ones to save ourselves. It's just, that's how it works. They don't, if they wanted to make it better for us, for marginalized communities, they would have did it already. We had to make sure that we're doing that. We had to make sure that we're putting boots on the ground. We're pushing for the people that we want in those offices. We're canvassing. We're doing community build. All the good things that we need to be doing, we have to do it as community members. We have to come together. Kimmy said we have always had the wrong politicians, and they shut down the lines who want good. Oh, shut down the ones who want good. Yeah, that's very true. That's
like
why
Jasmine Crockett,
once we get those
Kamala Harris.
Once we get those people in, we have to make sure that we keep our foot, so like our foot on their necks.
Yeah.
So getting them in is just part one. You have to make sure that you're continue with the emails, the phone calls, follow up with the people. Make sure that they're actually about what they said that they were going to do, and that all your hard work is being counted for.
I definitely need to go hug some trees. I ain't gonna hug some trees. I need to do some grounding, put my feet on the ground. Let me get connected.
That is so important.
My mom lives in the country on about 4 or 5 acres. And I need to just go out there, scream. I feel like I need to yell.
I would have been done went out there.
Take my shoes off, stand in the ground, hug all. She got 1,000 trees. Hug some trees, do something, cause shit. Hey, Courtney, come on, join the fan club for 300 days. That's what the fuck I'm talking about, okay? Drop some crowns in the chat for everybody, you guys. I appreciate you guys for being here. And we're going to start closing it in, and then the panel will be open if you guys have questions for Gina, or you just want to share your thoughts on immigration, how to get brown and indigenous people more active, or the current administration when it has to do with any of this. Please feel free to do so, you guys. Shout out to Gina at 5K. We might as well start working our way up to 10K. Don't stop now. Continue to show us some love. Make us feel at home, you guys. I appreciate it. Give everybody a follow, especially Gina. Now, this is okay, here we go. What are some hard truths? What hard truths do our communities need to hear, even if they don't want to?
You're too comfortable. You're too complacent. I know that we face a lot of very ugly realities here. But that is a hard truth. My family, like my personal family, we were talking about, because they were telling me, No, they were kind of giving me backlash about doing what I do all the time and speaking about. And I'm just like, you're just so spoiled.
Yep.
Like, you're fucking spoiled.
Comfortable.
Yeah, that's what it is. So I think that would be one of them.
So now that I'm gonna open up the chat for the next, I don't want to hold you too long. So I got, how much time you got, Gina? So I know how many questions.
I got a few more minutes.
Okay. I'm gonna open up chat. So before, if you have a question for Gina, you want to have thoughts on like immigration, Black and Brown, I know how to get Black and Brown, Indigenous more politically active, or the current administration. And also too, here's just like a couple of little drops in the chat. You can drop in the chat if you feel politically represented right now. Why or why not? What's something that you were never taught about Indigenous or Mexican history? And do you think voting just alone is enough? So you can answer those questions. You can ask a question to Gina, and then I'm gonna run it for like about 10 minutes, and then I'm gonna ask her one more question. We're gonna shut it down. Well, we're gonna shut the line down. We're gonna shut the We Are What's Love Wednesday down, or I think, yeah, I don't know. We'll see, but it'll be over in a little bit. So Courtney, so official. How you doing? Welcome in.
Hey, Jessica. Gina, how you doing?
Hello.
Every time I come on your panel, I got to pay homage. It really, sincerely is a pleasure to be. It's an honor for you to welcome me into your space. As a Black woman, I want to tell you that I love you from a Black man to a Black woman. I love you and I appreciate you.
Much love.
Gina, the best, and I pray, wealth, prosperity, perseverance, in your journey to spread your message. I do want to get to Jessica's some of her points, and then I'm gonna drop down immediately because I know, Jessica, you popular, you out there.
I'm just a humble servant of the Lord.
Hello. What I do want to touch on, number one, is the immigration. That's a huge issue. I want to say immigration here to the United States is somewhat what I believe of a fallacy. Let me expand on that. The position that some people take in terms of folks coming over or to the United States or crossing the borders and it being a problem, it's not the fact that they know it's not a problem. The issue is that they are willing to sacrifice their daughter's freedom. They're willing to vote against women's autonomy, to the right to their autonomy, over folks coming over with the narrative or the notion that illegal criminals are coming to do this, that, and the third against supposedly America's freedoms and liberties. Okay, they're willing to sacrifice bodily autonomy for their beliefs in transgressions against Black and brown people. They are willing to sacrifice their farms, their boats. They are willing to sacrifice the livelihoods of their families. They are willing to sacrifice being able to put food on the table. And the only thing, they know he's a liar. They know anybody affiliated with him cannot tell the truth, but they are willing to roll the dice and gamble with everything they hold near and dear just for the mere optics of seeing Black and brown people being hurt. They are willing to see Black and brown people being having an obstacle. They are willing to be an obstruction or being obstructionists to the advancement and the empowerment of Black and brown people. So immigration is not a problem. Capitalism. You take it up with the corporate folks that are willing to hire people at a much lower paying wage than you who has a master's or a bachelor's or a doctorate degree. It is those individuals who do not get taxed. So when I hear there's an immigration problem, we have a very small percentage in terms of people that are coming over and crossing the southern border, but nobody ever talks about people coming over in ships. Nobody ever talks about the cargo that's being shipped over here. Nobody ever talks about the northern border. Nobody ever talks about what's coming over from the Pacific or the Atlantic into our ports votes. Nobody ever talks about that. The number of people being excuse me, I gotta be coded. The number of people coming over by boat, either on the Pacific or the Atlantic coasts, is astronomical. So thank you for raising the point of immigration.
Yes.
Thank you for raising the point of brown indigenous activism, because I think it's important for us to acknowledge that Mount Rushmore is a direct violation of the treaty from the Sioux and the United States of America.
Breaking more treaties.
It's very,
Courtney,
very
just
important.
to interrupt you, just quickly.
Yes.
First of all, I appreciate you so fucking much for that. Mount Rushmore, for people who don't understand, Mount Rushmore was built on top of Indian or Native sacred land. So that's where they were held their ceremonies, and they would go pray. They would do their sun dances out there. And for anybody who knows or is familiar with those types of things, it's very sacred to us. And so it was the biggest FU and slap in the face when they're like, oh, really? Let's put the colonizers' faces in a mountain on your sacred land where you pray. So for those people who don't know, there is now a Crazy Horse statue. Courtney, if you didn't know, I was actually there 2 weekends ago. Y'all make sure y'all check out Crazy Horse statue. It's like 10 times bigger, and it's a bigger FU to them. So thank you, Courtney, for that.
I did not hear about that. Here's my final point, Jessica, and I'm going to drop because I want to be respectful of your time. The last point I would like to raise is we know that this administration is being orchestrated by just a giant circus. We already know that.
Oh my God.
Okay, so everyone needs to get out there in the midterm. Make sure you check on your voters registration on a weekly or a bi-weekly basis. Number one. My very, very last point. The indigenous population, I want you guys to know, not only were their children taken into Canada and spread all over the globe, but the United States Army played a crucial point in the starvation of the indigenous population by just, they were playing target practice. Not even target practice, they were targeting the bison. They had tens of millions of bison here in just North America, what we call the United States alone, tens of millions, and they reduced it to just merely a simple 1,000 nationwide. So when we talk about what has been happening and we talk about other things that are happening to other people in countries that are saying, oh, these folks are being wiped off the planet, I do not want people to forget what has happened to the indigenous population here and has been happening to them since the beginning of time. And that the mortality rate of our Black women simply doing what is natural and giving birth don't make it out of the hospital. We cannot forget that. And I yield back, Jessica. I love you. And
thank you, Courtney. Love you so much. I appreciate you. Always coming through with the word. Okay. Good night. Oh,
that was so good.
Okay.
That was so good.
Okay. Okay, so if I don't see anybody else in the guest request, not a problem. I have one last question for you. I think it is. Hold on, because I listed everything down. You know what I'm saying? If you could leave people with one message about liberation, identity, and power, what would it be?
One message for liberation,
identity, and power. Oh yeah, you can give one for each if you want.
No, well, that's good. We can put it all together. If you are part of the Black, Brown, or Indigenous community, please know that your very existence is resistance. You are more than they have told you that you are. You are so strong. And also, fight. Always fight. When you can't no more, keep going. Use your voice in whatever way that you can. Nothing is too small. No task is too small or big. If you can make flyers or if you can be boots on the ground at Washington, D.C., do it. There's a saying, it's going to take 1,000 soldiers, it's going to take 1,000 leaders to make a difference. It's going to take 1,000 of us to do these small tasks to make a difference. And that's what we need to keep doing. Also, have grace with each other. Have grace on yourself. Decolonizing and deconstructing everything that you know is, 1, hard. 2, you're brave for doing it. Because everything you've been told your entire life will be shaken to its core and dismantled. And you will be questioning everything that you know. And that's when you know that you've reached ascension and you've reached a place where you should be. So bring back the Rainbow Coalition. It's alive and well, baby. I'm part of the second Rainbow Coalition. That's what this badge is. What this is for.
Put some respect on it now, okay? I was at Jasmine Crockett's thing, and her chief of staff said that if we all do a little bit, a lot can happen. You guys, you don't have to change the world yourself. We just all need to do a little. If we all brought one piece, say it's 500 of us, and it's a 500-piece puzzle, and if you try to do it by yourself, it may take you a few days. But if we all bring one piece to the puzzle, we could make that shit happen. Okay. I love that. I love you, Gina. You guys, tonight wasn't just a conversation. It was a reminder that our history is deeper than what we were taught. Our power is greater than what we've been told, and our voices are necessary in every space where decisions are being made. So make sure that you follow Gina, support her work, and most importantly, take what you've learned today and do something. Do something with it, okay? Because awareness without action doesn't change a motherfucking thing. Oh my God, Gina.
Thank you to Jess.
Hold on, I have a gift. This is LM does not do anymore. So I have a special gift from her for you. Un momento. Oh, that ain't it. Oh, I thought I saw the same. Let me pick this phone up. Hold on. Let me turn the camera off because I might pick the. I might push the wrong thing on accident. Hold on. Give me a second. I'm figuring it out.
I just want to say shout out to Jess. Also in real life, my mentors have always been Black women.
Period.
Always took me under their wings. Even like in the Brown Beret movement, there hasn't really been that sisterhood, which is changing. Now it's changing, thankfully. But it's always been Black women who have just pushed me, encouraged me to change the way that I think, to empower me, to grow in every way that I know. Like when I think back, I can see all their faces. And, oh my, I'm going to cry. So let me shut up.
No, girl, that's your strength. Okay. Water your flower. You are the flower.
You guys are amazing. Jess, I love you. Thank you for everything.
Okay, I found it. This I almost gave it to myself on accident. That is for you. Keep doing the fucking work, okay? That's from Big LM, not the little one. Drop some crowns in the chat. I don't know why I was about to cry. I'm about to start crying.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh my God. I never got one of those. Thank you.
We like popping cherries over here. Okay. I fucking love you. I appreciate you. Shout out to everybody on the tube. Make sure that you are following Gina. You can go to wearewhatstuff.org to be able to find her. If you're coming from the tube, if you're on TikTok, just give her a follow here right now. You can also check her out and see what she fights for if you didn't pick it up by now. But just make sure that you guys sign up for the newsletter as well. We appreciate you all for